Yeah. Welcome back to the Interpretation Podcast, hosted by Giz Money, yours truly. I would like to thank everybody for the likes, subscribes, the shares. Follow me on TikTok, Giz Money 11207, Giz Money 2.0. And man, I really want to thank everybody on this little quick episode. Something that came across my mind, real talk. So I was sitting, just pondering and thinking, and I'm looking at street culture and where the streets came from to where they are now. And I remember when I ran the streets, and it's not the same. Like, I remember I used to have to get permission. I remember I had to go to the older guys to get permission to come to the block to be active on the block. It's not like that no more, because as I was talking to one of the young guys, I grew up in a drug culture where selling drugs was very popular. From the music we digest, from the movies we seen, from everything around my neighborhood where I'm from in East New York, it was all around drug culture. But everybody's not part of that culture. It was just a subgroup of people which I decided to align myself with, because when you have no father, this is what happens. You go look for acceptance in places where you probably shouldn't be. And I say that to say this: with street culture, we have glorified so much of the stupidity. And the reason why I brought this up, because I was listening to 6ix9ine talk about Mel Murder. And he was like, oh, being a real nigga it ain't beneficial. Oh, how they ain't pick him up from the jail and he just getting out. Now, let's ask some real questions. Let's really think about this. Just because somebody doesn't pick somebody up from jail in a nice Benz and do a video and post it on social media, that doesn't mean that they're not friends and he doesn't care about them. Now, what if this man got out of jail and said, you know what, I kind of just want to get on a train or take whatever situation, bus ride, and clear my mind and get some clarity and just enjoy the view and the scenery without having my homeboys there. Sometimes people need that. Definitely when you coming out of jail. When you get out of jail, you have to decompress from the environment and the temperature that was given to you. And most people that really never experienced, they don't understand the decompression part of jail when you've done 6-7 years. You have to decompress. And I really thought that was very, it showed me something. It showed me the mindlessness and how easily influenced this generation of kids are, because he's the same guy that just really believed everything about rap music. And you know what's so crazy is at one time, I thought the same. From like 14 to about 25, I thought that's what you had to be real. And then when you start breaking 31 and you start really understanding what life is about, you realize that money is not always going to make you happy. Friends can't make you happy. The street shit ain't going to make you happy. You have to find some balance in your life. But I realized this was happening in the street, and with street culture, nobody has balance. And I really blame street culture mainly on father figures not being there for their kids, because you have a whole generation of young men like me, and I said this when I used to rap. I said I grew up in a culture of niggas that smoke weed and listen to rap tunes. And all we did was sit and smoke weed. And this goes back to one of my homeboys, Pills. We used to cut school, go to his house, smoke weed, listen to the Locks all day. I started thinking that was gospel. I really started thinking these people was real. And then you get older, you realize that everything is entertainment. Everything is entertainment. And I came to terms with that. And a lot of people don't come to terms with that in reality. And I say that to say this, because we're literally watching a whole generation throw their life away for monetary gains and materialistic things. They love clothing. They love celebrity. And what I ask and what I try to promote to the young generation is find you a trade, find something, because you're going to spend more time being older than you're young. And start learning these things, because as a 41-year-old man, I'll tell you things not to do. I will never tell you be in the streets. I would never tell you to sell drugs. I would tell you go to school, start young, because as an adult, I'm now scouring the internet for information to help me be better, because the plan is to stay alive, not die young. And that's what I want to promote to the young people. We can't glorify celebrity. We can't glorify rappers. That's not real. Let's glorify the things that's real. Let's get back to self-accountability and being self-sufficient in life. And street culture is dead. And I'm not going to say it's a myth. You know what I'm saying? A myth could be like Candyman. The streets is not a myth because you want just say the street rules are a myth, because it's like you have all these rules, but these rules never apply to nobody. But this is just my interpretation, my thoughts, and how I view the world. Y'all already know what it is. Can you please like, subscribe, and share? I'm on the road to 1,000 before December. I would love for y'all to keep me in the algorithm. And then y'all want me to talk about anything, throw it in the comments, man. I'm open and I'm good for criticism, and I love to get criticized. So you already know. Y'all enjoy your day. Stay blessed and stay focused. I'm out.